Is my voice audible to you? Okay, okay, fine. So yesterday we have given you some homework. Okay, I hope you got the homework from Unity website. Good afternoon. Okay, and I think you have uploaded also the homework. Yes or no? Okay, very good. Because the marks will be counted from the whatever homework you are doing. Okay, fine. So first of all, let us discuss this homework. Then we'll proceed for relative velocity. Fine. Okay, so question number one. If we simply look at question number one, what we have we have a graph of the acceleration versus time. Okay, so this graph represents the acceleration versus time graph. What we need to find? We need to find the maximum speed of the particle. Now we know that the area under the area under the acceleration time graph will give us what? Velocity. Okay, so if I have to find the velocity, I have to find the area under the curve. Now if you look at this, it is basically a right angle triangle. Okay, so what is the area of the right angle triangle? In this case, that area will be equal to velocity, which would be equal to how much? Half. Base is how much? 10 seconds. What is the height? That is 10, means it will come as 55 meter. So the area under this curve will be equal to 55 meter per second. So that would be the maximum velocity of this particle. So to find the velocity, what we need to do? Sorry, it is 50, not 55. It is 50. Okay. So for finding the area, upon finding the velocity, we need to find the area under this curve. Okay. So answer for the first problem is 50 meter per second. Okay. Now second problem. A graph is given to you, that is velocity versus time graph. Okay. We can see the graph here. Now we have to find the maximum acceleration of this graph. Okay. Now here, if I locate some point, this point we can say as origin O, this point as A, this point as B, this point we can say as C, and this point we can say as D. Okay. Now we have to find the maximum acceleration. Now velocity time graph is given to us. Okay. So we know that the slope of velocity time graph give us what? The slope of velocity time graph will give us the acceleration of the particle. Okay. Now, but we have to find the maximum acceleration. We have to find the maximum acceleration. Now, just by looking at the graph, we can say that which path will have the maximum acceleration. See, OA is also a slope, BC is also a slope, and CD is also a slope. But whose slope is more? From looking at the figure itself, you can tell me. Whose slope is more? AB, OA, or BC? Yes, BC slope is more. Okay, which means whose acceleration will be more? BC or OA? BC or OA? BC, obviously. So BC is the maximum acceleration. Why? The slope of BC is the maximum acceleration. The reason is that the slope is more. Okay. Now how to find this slope? See, how to find the slope of BC? To find the slope of BC, what we need to do? We need to draw the horizontal line at B. Then you have to take the angle theta like this. Okay. Then what is tan theta value? Now tan theta will be what? The acceleration, because in velocity time graph, the slope is acceleration. Fine. So what is the value of tan theta? That would be equal to this length. What is this length? That is 30, and this will be what? 10. So can we say as what? 30 meter per second, or 30 by 10, which will come as 3 meter per second square. So what is the acceleration here? 3 meter per second square. Okay, fine. Sorry. It is the no. We have to find acceleration. It should be 33 meter per second square. Is that correct or not? No, no, sorry. Wait. Sorry. It should be what? It should be, this should be 80 minus 20. 80 minus 20 is how much? 60. That is correct. 60. So 60 by 40 minus 30 is 10, which means answer will be 6 meter per second square. So maximum acceleration will be 6 meter per second square. Fine. Okay, that is the answer for second problem. Now third problem. The given graph shows the variation of velocity with displacement. Now the graph is given us velocity with displacement. Find the acceleration with displacement graph. Okay. Now, can we find the equation of this straight line? Can we find the equation of the straight line? So equation of a straight line will be equal to what? V equal to minus mx plus c. Okay. Or we can write here as y equal to mx plus c. Okay. Fine. Now what is y here? Y is v. Y is the v here. Okay. So v equal to m. Now the slope of this straight line is what? It is negative slope. Okay. And what is the value of this slope? The slope of this straight line will be equal to m will be equal to v naught by x naught. Okay. V naught by x naught. Okay. So we can write here as what? The slope is minus. It should be minus. Okay. Why minus? Because the slope is negative here. Because theta is more than 90 degrees. So it should be minus here. Okay. So it will come as how much? Minus v naught by x naught into x plus c is the equation of this straight line. Now we know that acceleration equal to v dv by dx. Okay. So if I find dv by dx, what is dv by dx value? That would be equal to minus v naught by x naught. Okay. So what is the value of the acceleration? That would be equal to v. V is how much? Minus v naught by x naught into x plus c into dv by dx, that is minus v naught by x naught. So we get what? A equal to minus plus v naught by x naught whole square into x minus c into v naught by x naught. Now this whole term is constant. This is what? Positive slope. Slope is positive, and the y is negative there. Okay. So if I draw the graph for acceleration versus displacement, okay, A versus displacement graph, we'll find the graph would be somewhat like this. See, this represents positive slope. Okay, this represents positive slope. Theta is positive, and the y-intercept is negative, which is minus c v naught by x naught. So the graph would be like this. It would be a straight line graph. How we say it is a straight line graph? Because it is a linear relationship. A is equal to x mx plus mx minus c. Mx minus c means a linear graph. Okay, fine. Yes, it what I was asking NEET exam. Okay, see, the question is not very difficult. You first need to find the slope of the. You have to find the equation of the straight line. Okay, so equation of straight line is y equal to mx plus c. In the place of y, it should be v, because on the y-axis we have v velocity. In the place of x, we have x only. So v equal to mx plus v equal to m. Now what is slope here? How to find the slope? Slope will be y by x. So y is v naught, x is x naught. So minus v naught by x. So slope is minus v naught by x. Fine. So v equal to minus v naught by x naught into x plus c. C is the y-intercept. C is the y-intercept. Okay. Now what is the value of y-intercept? V naught. V naught is the value of the y-intercept. So can we write the equation of a straight line as v equal to v naught plus x naught is the slope plus x plus c. Now c is here v naught. In the place of c we can replace as v naught. Okay. We can write here as V naught plus V naught. So wherever C is there, you write V naught. Okay, V naught. This should be again V naught. Correct now. So this is the equation of a straight line. That is velocity versus x relationship, which is the linear relationship. Now we know that acceleration equal to dv by v dv by dx. So what is the value of v dv by dx? dv by dx, that is v naught minus v naught by x naught. So a must be equal to v. V is minus v naught into x plus v naught minus v naught by x naught. So we get this relation of a. That is a is equal to v naught by x naught whole square into x minus v naught into v naught by x naught. Okay, so this will be the straight line. Y equal to mx plus c is the equation of a straight line. Okay, how c equal to v naught? Because c is the y-intercept. Now what is the value of y-intercept? V naught. See, in straight line I have told you everything. Okay, so don't ask me that why c is equal to v naught, because c is the y-intercept. So when I was teaching you straight line, I told you that these are the important points which you have to remember. Okay, fine. Negative slope, because you can see slope is negative here because theta is more than 90 degree. You can see here theta is more than 90 degree. So slope is negative here. Why it is a straight line? See, because the relation is a equal to some constant in 2x minus c naught. So c naught is a constant. This is the slope of the straight line. So slope of a is equal to what? V naught square by x naught whole square into x minus this one. This is the constant c. See, how can we identify? See, first of all, the graph should be straight line. So this graph is straight line or not? This graph is straight line or not? Okay, it is a straight line graph with positive slope. This is a positive slope because if I find the slope of this line, it is positive slope. And when x equal to 0, we have some intercept of y, that is minus v naught by x square. So we can write here as this value will be equal to what? Minus v naught whole square by x naught. Okay, this is the value of y-intercept here, minus here. The slope is positive. What is the value of slope here? Tan theta will be equal to v naught by x naught whole square. Correct now? Velocity is not uniform. Velocity is variable with x. Velocity changes with x. It is not uniform velocity. That is why this relation means what? If you just observe this relation, v equal to minus v naught x plus v naught, the v will vary with x. When x is 0, velocity is v naught. When x is something, the velocity will change. So v is variable with x. Okay, fine. How many of you got this answer correct? Anyone has got this answer correct? Did you do this matter or simply you just draw the figure? Because in the option there are too many options of a straight line. Okay. See, basically, okay, very good. How do we know this answer? See, you have to think, okay. In physics, if you don't think, you won't get the answer. Okay. Yes, straight line equation is y equal to mx plus c. Okay. Last step. See, last step is a equal to v naught square. See, a must be equal to v dv by dx. dv by dx is minus v naught by x naught. Okay. Yes, we have to imagine this. So v dv by dx is minus v naught by x naught. So a is equal to minus v naught by x naught into x plus v naught. That is v. This is v. V, basically this is v. This is v. This is dv by dx. Okay. So v value is minus v naught by x naught into x plus v naught. And dv by dx is minus v naught by x naught. Multiply this, you'll get this one. a equal to v naught by x naught whole square into x minus v naught square by x. Okay, so this represent the straight line equation. How dv by dx is equal to, that is the slope of the straight line. See, if you find the tan theta value here, if you take this tan theta will be equal to y by x. So y is v naught, x is x naught, okay, and minus because negative slope is there. That is, see, I have clearly explained everything in a straight line. Okay, if you have not paid attention in that class, you will definitely face a problem in this. Okay, that is why I'm telling you, basic mathematics was very important to you all. Okay, relative only I will teach you. Why are you panicking, man? I will teach you everything. Don't 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 feel like this. Okay, I'll teach you everything. The questions are very good. That is why I'm discussing this question. Otherwise, if you want, I won't discuss this problem. Okay, if you want, if it, I don't, I won't discuss. It's better I will go and teach. But whether it will be useful for you. If you don't, if you are not able to do some problems. Okay, fine. So let me do what I am doing. Okay, fine. Next is, and whatever come, one thing more. Don't, whatever I will teach you, that will only come in your exam. Okay, in your weekly test. Don't think that anything extra will come, because I am only preparing the paper. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that part. That something extra will be asked. Okay, fine. Now next problem. Now this problem was asked in JEE, IIT JEE. Okay, I gave you this problem. Fine. This was asked in JEE exam. Okay, a ball is dropped vertically from a height d above the ground. It hits the ground and bounces vertically to a height of d by 2. Neglecting the subsequent motion, the air resistance, draw the velocity versus height graph above the ground. Okay, now first of all we have to draw the figure here. Okay, can we draw the figure like this? This is the ball. We are dropping from certain height d. Okay, fine, to the ground. Okay, now it strikes the ground and it bounces back to a height of d by 2. Okay, so what we need to do, first of all we have to find the velocity as a function of d. Okay, for that we can say that, let us suppose initial velocity is 0, because we are dropping the ball, which means initial velocity will be 0. Let us suppose at some height h from the ground, the velocity is v downward. Okay, from some height h from the ground, velocity is v. Okay, so what is the distance between a and b now? That would be equal to d minus h. Is that correct or not? So I assume that from certain height h, for certain height h from the ground, the velocity is v. So distance between a and b, distance between a and b, distance between a and b is d minus h. Okay, fine. So can we find the velocity here at this point b? So velocity whole square must be equal to what? V square, v square minus u square must be equal to 2gh, 2 minus g into h. Okay, now what is h here? Or we can say s. Okay, what is h here? S here, d minus h. So initial velocity is 0, so we can write here as v square equal to 2g. What is s? S is d minus h. Okay, fine. So we get what? V square must be equal to 2gd minus 2gh. Okay, fine. See, paper discussion, you have to tell me which question you have doubt. Okay, that I will discuss. Fine. Okay, so paper discussion, you have to tell me which question you have doubt. Otherwise, I cannot know how much means. I don't know which problem we have to discuss. Okay. Now you cannot tell. You send me. Okay, you send me in WhatsApp. I'll see and I will tell you. Okay. Fine. So in one day we can allot for that paper discussion only. Fine. Okay. So see why this is minus g. Okay. So d minus h will be negative here. So minus minus become positive. So v square plus 2g d minus h. Okay. Fine. So we have the relation between v square and d. So the relation between v square and d is equal to how much? It is equal to v square equal to 2gd minus 2gh. Okay, fine. 2gd minus 2gh is v square equal to 2gd minus 2gh. Okay, so we can see the relation is parabolic in nature. How can we say it is parabolic or not? This is y, this is x. Okay, so it is what? Y square equal to 2gx minus some constant c. So this is the parabolic relation. Okay, okay, fine. So the graph for velocity versus displacement, the graph for velocity versus displacement will be like this, a parabolic in nature. Can anyone explain this graph? Is this graph correct or not? Is this graph correct? Okay, how we can say? See, just look at this graph. Just look at this graph. We have plotted some point A, B, and C. Okay, fine. So just think on this point. When you are releasing the ball from certain height d, now d is negative or not, because the point where the ball is taken as origin, so this point is your origin, or we can take the ground as origin. Can we take ground as origin, or we can take a as, sorry, we can take a as origin. Okay, take a as origin. If you take a as origin, what is the value of displacement? D. Okay, d is the value of displacement. Now as the object move from A to C, velocity is increasing or not? And it is increasing in parabolic way. So the graph would be like this. Fine. So from A to C, when it reaches ground, the velocity is increasing on the negative side, and the relation is parabolic in nature. And distance becomes zero. Okay. So here they have assumed this point as origin. Okay. Fine. So C is taken as origin. Now from when it is at A, when the point is at A, velocity is 0, displacement is d. Okay, velocity is 0 and the displacement is d. Now when you drop the object, the velocity is increasing but on the negative side. So here we can say velocity is increasing on the negative side, and velocity become maximum when it hits the ground. Okay, at point C. So this is the point C. Okay, this is point C. Now as it hits the ground, it rebounds back. Okay, when it hits the ground, it will rebound back. When it rebounds back, its velocity become positive, so the graph will shift to this point. Okay, now this is also a point C. Fine. Now as the ball is moving upward, the velocity is decreasing, and it becomes zero at which point? When distance is height is d by 2. Okay, so that is the graph. Fine. This is the graph. That is d by 2. So this graph is correct. Okay, d by 2 is this graph. Okay, fine. I hope you understood this graph. Acceleration is constant. That is why I found the relation between V and D. Relation between V and D is parabolic in nature or not. Y square equal to 2gx. It is a parabolic graph or not. See what I have assumed. At certain point, at certain height h from the ground, velocity is v. At certain height h from the ground, velocity is v. So can we find the velocity? V square minus u square equal to minus 2g into s. So v square equal to minus g, and displacement is d minus h. So relation will come as v square equal to 2gd minus 2gh. Okay. Now h is constant, but d is variable. D can sorry, this h is variable, d is constant. So it is basically a graph of parabolic graph. Okay. So it is a parabolic graph. Y square equal to c minus 2gx. Okay. It is a parabolic graph. Now relation between velocity and d should be parabolic in nature. So just think on this point. We have taken ground to be origin. So we are dropping the ball from a height. Okay. When you drop the ball from a height, velocity will be 0. We can see that at point A, velocity is 0, displacement is d. Okay. Now when it is moving downward, its velocity will increase, but in parabolic in nature. Okay. So the graph will increase and velocity will increase on the negative side because the velocity is downward direction. So in downward direction, velocity will increase in the negative side. Okay. And maximum velocity becomes when it hits the ground. Okay. Fine. Now when it hits the ground, it will rebound. So when it will rebound, the velocity will become positive. Then as we are moving upward, the velocity is decreasing and become 0 at d by 2 distance from the ground. Okay. So that is the graph. Fine. Okay. Fine. Next Next problem is that displacement time graph of two moving particles at an angle 30 degree and 45 degree. Okay. Find the ratio of the velocity. So I think that is a very easy problem. Okay. So if you take this graph A, this as graph B, what is the velocity of A? Velocity of A will be equal to tan 30 because the slope of the A will give us the velocity because it is displacement versus time graph. Velocity of A is equal to tan 30. Okay. Similarly, what is velocity of B? That is equal to tan 60. Okay. So velocity of A by velocity of B will be equal to tan 30 by tan 60. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3 by root 3. So velocity will be 1 is to 3. So velocity of A versus velocity of B is 1 by 3. Okay. Sorry, it is tan 45. Sorry. It is tan 45. Wait. It is tan 45. So this will be how much? This would be what? 45. This would be 1. This would be what? 1 by root 3. So answer is 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3 is the answer. Okay. So these were the questions which I have given to you. Okay. Now relative velocity. Fine. So relative motion in 1D. Yesterday I told you something about relative motion. Okay. So what was relative motion I told you? Relative motion is with respect to something. With respect to something is relative motion. Like I gave you the example that we have two person A and B. A has a height of 6 feet. B has a height of 5 feet. So from ground. So if I take ground as a reference frame, then what is the height of A? 6 feet. What is the height of B? 6 feet, 5 feet. Okay, fine. Okay. So when you are taking the ground as a frame, then the height of a person A will be 6 feet and the height of the person B is 5 feet. But if I ask you, what is the height of B with respect to A? B with respect to A means if you take B as a reference point or if you take B as a frame, then what is the height of A with respect to B or B with respect to A? That is 1 feet. Okay. So basically relative means comparison between the two objects. So relative means a comparison between the two objects. Okay, that is known as relative. Now, next example, I have taken you the train example. That we have two trains, A and B. Okay, so train A is moving with 10 meter per second. Train B is moving with 10 meter per second. If the observer, now here the observer is an important person. Okay, observer will decide whether the particle is moving or not. So if the observer is at A and he is looking at B train, so what he will feel, what observer will feel? See, if both the trains are moving with the same speed, then what is the velocity of A with respect to B? See, if the observer is A and he is observing B, so what is the value of B velocity? That would be 0, because for the observer at A, he will feel like there is no movement of the train. Okay, but any observer who is on the C, means if any observer who is on the platform, okay, the the observer on the platform, that is C at observer, what he will observe, for him both the trains are moving with the speed of 10 meter per second. Okay, so relative means with respect to something, with respect to something means relative. Okay, so if you change the frame, now here what is the frame for A observer? A train is a frame which is moving, a frame which is moving. So for observer A, the train A is the frame. For observer B, the train B is the frame. For observer C, the ground is the frame. This is the ground. Okay. So this is the frame. I think you understand. So if you change the frame, the velocity will also change. Relative velocity will change. Okay. Absolute velocity will never change. Absolute velocity means velocity of train is 10 meter per second. That is the absolute velocity. Okay. Absolute velocity will never change, but the relative can change if you change the frame. Okay. That is what relative means here. Like I gave you one more example that you are driving in a car A. Okay. Like you are in the car A. Okay. Another car is B. Okay. It is moving with 20 meter per second and your car is moving with 20 meter per second. What you will observe? Tell me. If both the cars are moving with 20 meter per second, what you will observe? Will the distance between A and B will change? Will you feel that the distance between A and B is increasing or decreasing, or it remains same? It remains same. Means this distance will always remain same. Why it will remain same? Because the relative velocity is 0 between them. This B will not change. Relative velocity is 0 between them. Okay, fine. So you will feel that B is not moving at all. If both the cars are moving with the same speed, you will feel like B is not moving at all. Okay, fine. Yes, it is the observer, it is an observation which we are doing, relative observation. Now, if I change this condition here, like this car is moving with 20 meter per second, A, and car B is moving with 10 meter per second. So what you will observe from this car A, what you will feel? You will feel that your car is moving very fast, or you can also feel like the distance between them is changing, the distance between them is decreasing or not. Okay, the distance between them will decrease. Fine. Why it is decreasing? See, both the cars are moving also. Both the cars are moving in the same direction, but you will feel like the distance between them is decreasing, or you will feel like that I am driving more faster than B. The reason is that because you are in that frame whose velocity is more than the other frame velocity. So when it is more, you will feel like your velocity is more than the B. Okay, that is why the distance between them will decrease. Okay, fine. That is what relative velocity means with respect to something. Now for the observer, now you tell me if the observer is at B, if the observer is at B, okay, if I take this observer, then what this observer will feel like? What B will observe? What B will observe? He will observe that A is moving faster than him. That is why the distance between B and A is decreasing. Okay. So basically, relative velocity means when the two objects are moving, what is the relative motion between them? Okay. It may be relative position, it may be relative distance, it may be relative acceleration. Okay. Fine. Okay. I think you understand this. What is the relative with respect to something? Okay. With respect to something. Yes. Now, now, now I think I told you about the frame. What is frame? Like you take the ground. Okay. A ground is basically what? Ground. Is the ground moving? Is the ground moving? No. It's stationary. Which means what? The ground is which frame? Is an inertial frame. A ground is a inertial frame. Inertial frame. If you take car, car is a moving frame. Car is the moving frame. Okay, fine. So if you change the frame, the velocity will also change. Just like this. Just tell me. Again, I give you one example. This is A, this is B, this is C. So for C, what is the velocity of B? For C, what is the velocity of B? Tell me. 10 meter per second. Yes. What is the velocity of A? 20 meter per second. In which direction? Right or left? Positive side or negative side? Positive side means right. Okay, fine. But just imagine you are in this A. What you will feel about B? Tell me. What do you feel about B? When you are in the A car, what do you feel about B? Tell me. It is slow. Or you can also feel like this car B is moving in the negative side. Is that correct or not? Just imagine yourself. Okay, you are in the car A and the car B is moving forward. Your speed is more than B. What you will feel? You will feel that B is moving backward. B is moving backward or not? With respect to you, the B is moving backward on negative side. Yes. So so now you tell me, just just overlook at this condition. Whatever condition I have discussed here. See, now for the observer who is on the ground, for him, car B is moving on the positive side. Okay. Car A is also moving on the positive side. That is fine. For the observer at B, A, for the observer at A, what he will feel about B? He will feel that the car B is moving on the negative side towards him. And for the observer who is on the B, what he will feel? He will feel that car A is moving towards him in the positive side. Correct now? Yes, I think you understand. So even if the absolute velocity is not changing, so who is telling the absolute velocity? The observer who is on the C, he is telling us the absolute velocity. But 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 for the observer who is at A, he will feel B is moving backward. For the observer who is B at B, he will feel A is moving forward. Okay, on the positive side. That is what relative velocity means. So when you change the frame, the velocity will change with respect to some frame. See, the velocity of B with respect to A is negative side. Velocity of A with respect to B is on the positive side. Okay. So with respect to some frame, what is the velocity? Okay. See, that what I'm explaining you. I'm explaining relative velocity only now. I'm seeing your message, everything I'm doing. I am explaining you relative velocity only. You have to listen. Without listen, you cannot understand anything. Okay, you have to listen something. Simply, I cannot write everything. Okay. See, first of all, when I am teaching, don't ask me test question. I will tell you at the last of the class. At the last, I will tell you. Okay. I am teaching something and you are asking something. If you do like this, I will ask seekers not to give me the host. At least I will teach properly. Na? In between, you are asking me test question. If you don't have the concept proper, you won't do anything in the paper. I know. Okay. So kindly ask what I am teaching. Okay. I am looking at your message. I know what you are writing. I see everything in your message. I will tell you afterwards. Okay. And those who are telling that I'm not able to understand relative velocity, that's what I'm teaching you. Now. You have to listen to me. Okay. What I'm teaching you. Relative motion means with respect to something. I gave you some this example. Why I'm giving this example? To understand, to make you feel that what is relative velocity means. Okay. There is no exact definition for relative velocity that I give you and you write it down and you are happy. No, you have to understand, you have to imagine yourself. Then only you can do relative velocity. Okay, that is why I gave you this example that there are three observers: observer on the car A, observer on the car B, observer on the car C. Both the car A and B are moving. You can see that car A is moving, car B is moving. Okay, and this C is on the inertial frame. Now I told you about the two frames. One is inertial frame, other is non-inertial frame. When I started this topic, I told you about inertial, non-inertial frame. See, this you will get more understanding when I will teach you force. Okay, but for now you understand. Inertial frame means ground, which is not moving. The frame which is not moving is inertial frame. The frame which is moving is non-inertial frame. Okay, fine. You understand that thing, that only. Whenever I say frame, it should be ground. Inertial frame means ground frame. Okay, so better I write ground frame here. Okay, ground frame. Okay, now just imagine yourself. Okay, just imagine yourself. You are three friends are there. Okay, first friend is on car A, second friend is on car B, third friend is on car on the ground. Okay, just tell me one thing. What is the velocity of B with respect to him? C. What is the velocity of B with respect to C? 10 meter per second on the positive side. Correct. Now, for A, what is the velocity of A with respect to C? 20 meter per second. Okay. But when you are in the car A and you are observing car B, what you will feel? You will feel that this car B is moving on the negative side towards yourself, towards A. Similarly, when the observer is at B, what he will feel like? He will feel like car A is moving towards B on the positive side. So why B is feeling like this? Because he is on the frame which is moving with 10 meter per second, and the car A is having more velocity than B. So he will feel that the car is approaching toward him. The car is approaching towards him. Okay. So why he is feeling like this? The reason is that this is because of relative velocity, or we can say frame. We have changed the frame. Okay, we have changed the frame. Like a train example I have given to you. See, when you are in a train A, train B, if both the trains have the same velocity, then what this observer A will feel? He will feel like B is not moving at all. And similarly, B will also feel like A is not moving at all. But when this observer A look at the stones which is there below the train, what he will feel that the stone is moving backward like this. then he can understand that okay, my train is moving forward. But while looking at the train B, he cannot tell whether the train A is moving or not, because we have changed the observer. We have changed the frame here. Okay, that is what relative velocity means. Fine. There is no exact definition of anything. You have to observe and just think on this point. Okay. Same velocity on the same side. Same velocity on the same side. Okay. Now, okay. Now, when I was teaching you something, I told you that the time is independent of the frame, and I gave you the example also that time does not depend upon the frame. Okay, time spent will be same for both the frames, whether the frame is moving, whether the frame is not moving. Okay, whether the frame is moving or whether the frame is not moving. Okay, in both the cases, the time is independent of the frame, but but distance, distance, displacement, distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration. Okay, uh, depends upon the frame. Now, just understand one point very. So you can ask me, sir, why distance depend upon the frame? Distance can also change. Distance can also remain same. Okay, just just understand one concept, one example here. Just think. This is a truck. Okay, on a truck, I have loaded some object. Okay, some object I have loaded here. Okay, there are two observers. There are two observers. One observer is on the truck, other observer is on the ground. This truck is moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second. Now you tell me, this is observer A, observer B. This is some object like this. Okay. Now in 2 seconds, let us suppose in 2 seconds, how much this object would have moved? 20 meter, because this truck would have moved how much distance? Velocity into time, which is what? 10 into 2, which is 20 meter. So when the truck moves, when the truck moved in 2 seconds, how much truck has moved? 20 meter. Now you tell me one thing. What is the displacement of this object with respect to ground? What is the displacement of the object with respect to ground? In 2 seconds, 20 meter. Very good. Very good. What is the displacement of this object with respect to B? With respect to B. For B, what is the displacement of the object? 0. Yes. For the observer who is on the truck, is the object moving for him? For him, is the object moving? No. But for this observer, is the object moving? For A observer, is the object moving? Yes or no? It is moving. And how much it is moving? How much it is moving? For B, how much it is moving? For A, 20 meter. For B, how much? 0 meter. So you can say that is the distance and displacement depend upon frame or not? Is the distance displacement depend upon frame? If you change the frame, means when I am on the truck frame, and when I am on the truck, the velocity displacement is 0. When I am on the ground, displacement is there. Okay. So if I change the frame, is the distance changing? Displacement changing or not? If I change the frame, I have two frames. One is ground frame, other is truck frame. So if I change the frame, will the displacement changing? Yes or no? Yes, it is changing. Yes, it is changing. For the person who's on the ground, displacement is 20 meter. For the person who's on the truck, displacement is 0 meter. For him, it is 0 because this object is not moving at all. Okay. Now tell me about velocity. The velocity of truck is 10 meter per second. So what is the velocity of this object? This truck is moving with 10 meter per second. This object will also be moving with 10 meter per second. Correct now? Fine. Now, when the observer is A, what is the velocity of the object? What is the velocity of the object? 10 meter per second. Very good. What is the velocity of the object for B observer? For B it is what? 0 meter per second. You can see here. Now you are only telling me the answer. Fine. So what do you understand by this example? That the distance, the displacement, the velocity, the time does not depends upon the frame. They are depending upon the frame. But time is independent. Now you tell me, for for see, just tell me one thing. For 2 seconds, 2 seconds will be same for this person also and this person also. It is not that for him time is 2 seconds, for him time is 1 second. No, the time remains same. For both the person time is same, that is 2 seconds. Okay, so time is basically what? Independent of the frame. The time is independent of the frame. But distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, it depends upon the frame. Okay, I hope you understand the term relative velocity. Relative means with respect to something. So here, if I ask you what is the velocity of the body, body we can say X body. This is body X. What is the velocity of X with respect to B? That is 0. Velocity of X with respect to B is 0. Okay. What is the velocity of X with respect to A? That is how much? 10 meter per second. Okay. So you can see that when you change the observer, when you change the frame, B is in the truck frame. It is moving frame. A is on the ground frame. So when you change the frame, velocity is also changing. Okay. That is what relative velocity means here. Okay. No. See, it is the observer. Observation from the frame. Okay. Yes, you are correct. That it is the observation. You feel like that velocity is not moving. That car, this object is not moving. The X object is not moving. Okay. Fine. Okay. Next. Now, how to represent a relative velocity? Like, just tell me. Like again, I take the example. This is the car A. This is the car B. Fine. So to represent relative velocity, we have to write velocity of A with respect to B. So the first term, okay, the first term represent what? The observer. Sorry, second term is the observer. First term is the observant, where what you are observing. Okay, don't go with the speed of the light. Okay, I'm talking about the classic mechanics. In classic mechanics, we don't consider the speed of the light. Okay, fine. So velocity of A with respect to B is equal to velocity of A minus velocity of B. That is how we represent relative velocity. Velocity of A with respect to B is velocity of A minus velocity of B. Now what is here? Where is the observer? B or A? Where is the observer? See, this is the way to represent relative velocity. Okay, relative velocity represented by VAB, which is VA minus VB. Now, the second term represent the observer. Where is the observer? At B. What he's observing? A. He's observing car A. Okay. Now, I give you one example there. Last example. Velocity of car was 20 meter per second, and this was 10 meter per second. So, what was the velocity of A with respect to B? That would be equal to 20 minus 10, which is 10 meter per second. So what B will feel like? The B will feel like this car A the B will feel like the car A is moving in the direction of positive direction with 10 meter per second. Okay, fine. That is what we are feeling. That is what B is feeling. What B will feel? We will feel that the car A is moving on the positive side with 10 meter per second. Okay, fine. Now, if I ask you, what is the velocity of relative velocity of B with respect to A? Now, which is the observer, A or B? Now, which is the observer? A is the observer. So, how to write velocity of B with respect to A? That is VB minus VA. Now, you tell me one thing. Just tell me one thing. One more thing I want to explain. I want to tell you. This velocity V is with respect to what? Ground? Ground or not? See, velocity of B with respect to A is equal to velocity of B with respect to ground. This is G with respect to ground. And velocity of A with respect to ground. Okay. So we have to take one more frame, that is ground. Okay. So what is the value of velocity of B with respect to A? Tell me. That is how much? 10 minus 20, which is minus 10 meter per second. So for the observer at A, what A will observe? A will observe that B is moving backward with 10 meter per second. Correct now? Yes. What A will observe? A will observe that B is moving backward with 10 meter per second. Okay. I hope you got the mathematical term how to represent relative velocity and how you are observing, how you are feeling that thing. I think both I have explained to you properly. How you are feeling and what is the why this answer is there. Okay, fine. Okay, I think you understand both the cases. So test portion for this week is relative 1D and vector. Up to what I will teach you. Okay, it is not that everything will come. Up to what I will teach you. Okay, fine. I hope you understand this. Any doubt you can ask me. Okay, fine. Homework I have given there. Homework I have given in the Learnity. You have to take the. You have to see the Learnity website. Okay. See, velocity of B with respect to A means observer is where? Observer is at A and observing what? B. So velocity of B with respect to ground minus velocity of A with respect to ground. Okay, fine. Okay, and what is A with respect to B? It means what? The observer is at B. See, observer is at B, and what is he is observing? A. Okay, fine. Any other doubts you are having? Tell me. With respect to ground, velocity of B with respect to ground, velocity of A with respect to ground, both the case. Okay. I will give you the negative side also. Just wait. Okay. I gave you this example just you understand, just you feel what is going on, what is the relative velocity. Okay. Okay. No homework. Today homework is from NCRT back exercise. Okay. Yes, yes. NCRT. Uh, I gave you the answer for that. No? This one answer I gave to you or not? That dimensional accuracy of SNth. SNth is equal to what? U plus half A 2n minus 1. I told you whether this is dimensionally correct or not. This is dimensionally correct because if you look at this, it is basically formula is U into 1 second and half A 2n minus 1 into 1 second. It is U into 1 second. Okay, fine. That is why dimensionally correct form like this. Okay, so test portion is kinematics 1D and vectors. Okay, up to what I will teach you. Fine. So thank you all.